Welcome to Iron Reviews, the show where I review Marvel and DC Comics, and today I review Captain Marvel issue 6. The comic begins with Captain Marvel outside the Alpha Flight space station, repairing the station from the Satori attack. She goes inside and is confronted by Puck. She tells Puck the damage from the attack has been repaired, but she wonders why they didn't just send a drone out instead of her. Puck leads her into one of the rooms, telling her that they need her out of the station for a bit, and Carol's surprised by the rest of Alpha Flight celebrating Carol's 6th-month anniversary as captain of Alpha Flight Station. Carol is surprised and thanks everyone, but Puck tells her they also got her a present, and Colonel James Rhodes, aka War Machine, enters the room. Puck tells Carol that Rhodes needs to head back to Earth in 2 hours, so she better spend time with them than us, so both Carol and Rhodes leave the room. 2 hours later, Rhodes and Carol are in bed, and Rhodes tells Carol that she really likes being the boss, and the rest of Alpha Flight think of that as well. Carol wonders if Rhodes really thinks so, but he thinks yes, and says that they just need to both be happy. As they're about to go in for a kiss, they're interrupted by Aurora. Carol wonders if a giant asteroid is coming, but Aurora informs her that Carol just needs to get her clothes on, because the board is here. Over at the Board of Governors, Henry Gurch, the U.S. ambassador of Alpha Flight, tells Carol that her performance on the Satori attack was unacceptable. Carol tells Henry that the Satori weren't after Earth, but they were after her instead. One of the Shi'ar governors speaks up and says that his concerns lie with the Shi'ar Empire, having just constructed a command module for Alpha Flight for it to be destroyed and requested to finance a new one, and so their Magister is not pleased of this news. Philippi, Canada's Alpha Flight ambassador, explains to Carol that they are impressed on her and her team's bravery, but are discussing how they can improve Alpha Flight's effectiveness next time, with Carol telling him that they would love to hear ideas, but they reacted deliberately at the first sign of threat. Philippi tells her no one's suggesting otherwise, but they are struck between the difference of this attack and another recent incident, with Henry saying that incident was an extra-dimensional one. Carol tells them both the Avengers had advanced warnings that this threat was coming, so they were able to construct a counterattack, but Henry is confused and tells Carol how is it they don't notice an alien invasion until it's on top of them, but they notice an extinction level event that literally just came out of the sky, and they were just in time to construct a counterattack to counter the foe, with no loss of life and no major damage to Manhattan. Carol tells them both that they were helped with the Inhumans in that attack, but they weren't able to have their help in the alien attack. But Henry tells them that the Inhumans should share this technology, so they can all predict future attacks from coming. But Carol tells Henry that they don't clearly understand how reliable this method is, and agrees with Henry that they do think it is very useful once they know how it works, and tells Henry that they would need to discuss this further with the Inhumans. Carol looks at T'Challa, seeing he isn't talking as well, and sees that they both agree on waiting to tell them about Ulysses. Carol tells them many think this is a valuable method and can be used greatly, but some don't agree with this method. For a notable example being Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, who thinks these predictions could be to misinterpretation, and he worries that changing the future will cause the butterfly effect, which Carol doesn't agree with. Philippi asks Carol if they're on good terms with the Inhumans, and Carol tells them yes, and Philippi tells everyone in the board that they've made to an agreement to pursue this avenue and to learn all about this technology and prove how reliable this source is, and so the board meeting has ended. We go into the other room, where Carol wants to discuss something with Sasquatch, but is interrupted by Captain Bar Khan of the Kree Empire, telling Carol that he needs a moment of her time. Carol wonders what the captain wants, and the captain tells Carol that the Kree is not what it used to be. There are multiple factions now roaming the galaxy, and he is only part of one, and tells her that they found something she might want to see. They say that it concerns Dr. Min Ravel of the Kree Science Academy. Carol is asking if they know where she is, but the captain has learned that she is still inhabiting on Carol's homeworld. Carol tells her that Spider-Man had an encounter with her a few months ago, and Spider-Man said that she was doing genetic experiments, and Carol is asking where she is. The captain says that she is still on the planet, but this is where matters become more sensitive, and Carol sees that they have a spy on her planet. Carol tells him that to just tell her where she is and to get her spy off her planet, but the captain tells Carol that that's not necessary because the spy was already killed by Minerville, but his final transmission was in California and reported Minerville was preparing or has already completed a biological weapon. Carol flies down to Earth with two Alpha Flight ships to California and contacts both She-Hulk and Black Panther and asks if anyone's available to her aid, with Black Panther telling her that all Ultimates are off-plan and he's in Wakanda, and She-Hulk telling her that the closest A-Force members are 5 minutes out. And just as Carol is about to finish what she's saying, she's ambushed by Mirabel, who pops out of nowhere, charging at Carol, hitting her far back. As Mirabel is destroying one of the Alpha Flight ships, she starts to attack another ship, but she is charged by Carol, who throws her down in a nearby town. Carol tells Aurora to search for the biological weapon, but Mirabel tells her that they already released the biological weapon and sees that nearby civilians are being turned to monstrous creatures. Mirabel tells Carol that she and Barr to make an antidote. It only affects humans, and headbutts Captain Marvel and flies off using her cloaking ability. Carol tells Alpha Flight to use all decontamination protocols, and she looks for the weapon. Carol flies around, and Alpha Flight is picking up radiation closest to her, and she finds the Kree tech that is causing the virus. She grabs a cement truck and throws at the machine, destroying it, and flies back to the town, hoping it's not too late. But when she gets there, she sees everyone is transformed to monstrous creatures, and they're all laying down on the ground, all dead. Hours later, Alpha Flight has contained the situation, with Sasquatch telling them that the town is all clear. Aurora comes back to report to Captain Marvel that there is no trace of Minville, and says that Captain Barkhan has his men tracking her through Kree black markets, so they will wait and find her soon. But Captain Marvel says to look around and tells her not to wait, and to give a call to the humans. She needs to talk to Ulysses. Captain Marvel issue 6 has to be a great tie-in, and I have read some good and some bad, and this has to be another one of my favorites. Now, I know I'm voting for Team Iron Man to win the Civil War, but I have to say this is interesting to see more of Captain Marvel's perspective of changing the future. Even though we don't see that a lot in this issue, it's still interesting. It's also nice to see how they did in Captain America Sam Wilson issue 10, they do in this story. How they mix up the story or new story arc they're telling last issue, and they mix it up with the whole Civil War 2 event story they're telling. And I really like that, and they mix it up well in this story. For example, when the board meeting is happening, Henry tells Captain Marvel how come they weren't able to stop the Satori attack before it was on top of them, but they were able to predict and prepare a counterattack for an extinction level threat that could have caused a lot of damage. It's fun for the writers to see mix up previous stories with new stories they're telling, or continuations of stories they're telling into this big Civil War 2 event. I really do like that. I mean, seriously, I do like that. It was also nice to see in the end to see Minravel in this book, which I guess is a big bad for Captain Marvel? I kinda don't know, but I'm gonna say yes. One more thing I want to say was cool in the end of this book. Everyone else is saying, oh, we'll catch her, we'll get her next time, we'll wait. But Captain Marvel doesn't really want to wait, and kind of shows you that she wants to really change the future. She wants to use Ulysses from preventing disasters like these to save lives, and shows Captain Marvel is serious about her decision, about using Ulysses to change the future for the better. Overall, I'm still on Iron Man's side, but I kind of feel like Captain Marvel is getting me hooked. I mean, I don't know, it makes sense, but hey, I'm still on Team Iron Man. Overall, great issue with great art. Nothing else to say. I give this a 7.5 out of 10. I recommend this comic if you're looking for a good Civil War 2 time, or you want to see how Captain Marvel is dealing with the whole Civil War 2 event. But hey, you can read the main book for that as well. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, hope you would like that. Thanks for watching, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more Iron reviews. And check out my Twitter at IronHulk018. And if you like this video, make sure to check out my other Iron reviews. And until next time, I'm August, and have a good day.